Yo, what's going on, great people? Season 2 is here, baby!
Season 2.
Hey, listen, it's your boy Troy from TNT Unleashed Podcast. Got my brother Trell in here. What's up, Trell?
What's the business, man?
Hey, man, I need to tell him one time. What's the show about? This show where authenticity lives, ego dies, and we talk about everything from life to love to relationships to everything in between. They might laugh, they might cry, but we hope they leave unleashed. What up, brother?
Man, same old soup just reheated. What's the
Same
business with
old
you?
soup just reheated. What's your favorite soup?
Chicken noodle.
Chicken noodle? I like some tomato bisque.
Tomato bisque.
Tomato bisque soup?
Well, it's the same soup, just reheated.
Just reheated, bro. I like that statement. I like that statement.
That's old pimping right there.
See, what's your favorite pimp movie?
American Pimp.
American Pimp.
Did you, in college, I used to watch American Pimp 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your biggest lesson from it?
My biggest lesson is...
I'm asking about pimp lessons.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
These pimps were richer than all the athletes, all the dope dealers, and all that if you're a big enough pimp.
Okay.
And there's just one pimp on there, I can't remember his name, and he was talking about how he became a pimp. Learned a valuable lesson. He said that he's ugly, he's not good at sex, so he decided to start pimping women. How do you do that?
You tell me. I ain't watching.
He was rich. I'm talking about like Bentleys and shit.
He was rich.
Rich. It had Bishop Don Juan on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It had Rosebud with 2 D's for a double dose of this pimping. You know what I'm saying? That's what he used to say.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting to me.
Okay.
It's psychology. So for me, you know how you watch, like, let's say we're watching The Avengers.
Yeah.
The enemy is always just as powerful as the hero, right?
That's a fact.
Well, I believe that the most powerful enemy of a therapist is a pimp.
Oh, really?
They're experts.
The pimps are experts.
They are human psychology experts.
We got to break down the whole pimp chronicles now. Like
we can do that.
Oh, we gonna noted.
I'm talking about
super producer. That's what we doing. We're gonna break down the whole pimp chronicles.
Back in the day, these pimps that was walking around.
Yeah.
They have PhDs in psychology for real. In terms of like their level of understanding human behavior and psychology.
I guess you would have to if you can convince someone to do the things in which they ask people to do.
Well, let's talk about what they actually convince people to do.
Okay, tell me.
They convince you to go to work and bring them all your money.
All your money.
While they don't work, and convince you to be thankful for what they provide for you.
Oh yeah, that's
pimping.
That's pimping and psychology.
It is.
For sure.
It is.
Oh.
But then you had this other pimp he only preyed on women who was already going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Like already on the street, already just doing anything, so you provided shelter. He said his favorite hoe, that's what he said.
That's what he said?
Yeah, quote, the mama dropped her off to him.
Whoa.
American Pimp, you should watch it.
I'm going to watch it. All right, noted.
What you listening to these days?
What am I listening to? Rap beefs?
Rap beefs.
I'm listening to rap beefs these days.
Shit.
Hey, all I'm saying is my boy Drizzy back.
Talk to me, man.
My boy Drizzy is back.
What do you say, 50 push-ups?
Hey,
50,
drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50. Hey, my boy Drizzy addressed, like 5 men on the same song.
He did.
In his response to, the future Metro Boomin, Kendrick Lamar dissing.
Why are they all mad at each other?
I don't know, man. I think it's got to be about some women stuff. You know, I think it's some salty energy. But I also think when you're at the top, people be mad at you.
That's how it go.
Look, when you're at the top, everybody comes because their biggest opportunity is to come for you.
Yeah, see, that's when my conspiracy theorist gene kicks in. Because
all right, tell me about it.
I've never seen 5 rich dudes get mad at one rich dude in the rap game before. Well, and not knowing why.
It's levels the rich.
And not knowing why.
Somebody got to tell it.
Somebody got to tell it. I got to know.
It's going to keep coming off in the song.
And I can't believe that Future's mad about no women.
Yeah, because Future's definitely a ladies' man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he probably ain't walking around mad about no woman. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but I know Drizzy back. Drizzy told Metro Boomin, shut your whole ass up and make some drums.
Damn.
Hey, can you imagine being a grown man and somebody sung you like that in a song? Like, just shut your whole ass up and go make some drums. You don't even belong here.
Shut your $2 ass up before I make change.
Exactly. It's back to the pimp. See, he just pimping them on these songs, man.
Oh, yeah,
hey, but I will say, Drizzy, one thing about Drake is he's good at responding to beef.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been very successful at it over his career. Now he got probably, some would say he got beat by Pusha T. I would say it was a draw. You know what I mean? That's just, I'm a Drake fan, so you know what I mean. I feel like Pusha T was probably one of his biggest run for his money, but when he hit back to back with Meek Mill,
back to back. Well, I tell you, Pusha Man's just one of those lyricists, man. Like, you just can't really fool with him like that.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Agreed.
But I will say I was thankful that I don't like coded rap beefs.
Yeah,
I need you to talk very direct.
Who you talking about?
I need you to talk straight on. I was thankful that Drake was straightforward.
Yeah, he went straight forward to him.
But that J. Cole though.
What you think about that J. Cole joint?
J. Cole was some vintage dissing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What was it called?
7 minute drill.
7 minute drill.
He straight slaughtered that now. I'm talking about. I love that.
And then took it down.
But see, I love that too.
Yeah.
I love the public apology that he gave because that's a grown man.
Yeah.
Who puts being in touch with his spirit and who he's trying to become above all things. Yeah. And I love to see that. So I wonder what the response from Kendrick and everybody else is going to be. But the rap music is interesting, man. It's got me, I love music, man. So y'all want to talk that shit.
Hey, look, what I will say is, like, when I heard J. Cole respond and apologize, it reminded me of kind of what we got going on here, where you can put your ego out the way.
Facts.
And say, this is how I really, really feel. And to me, it's respectable. A lot of people don't respect it, though, but I respect it.
Well, that's just grown man stuff.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's grown man stuff. Like, hey, this is not who I am.
Yeah.
I'm on a journey that's larger than all this.
Yeah.
And I can allow somebody else to control that, or control my emotions, or control this, that, third. Yeah. But he also let us know what he could do.
Hey, he was intentional in that. He let you know that if I want to, I can, and I will.
Now, if he keeps that energy up, his upcoming future album is going to be dope, man.
Look, I'm excited. I mean, when the last time we had beef like this in rap? Like real beef.
It's been a long time.
Who did you think won the Jay-Z Nas beef back in the day?
Ooh, Lord.
Who do you think was the winner?
Man, there was a moment that I thought Nas won. Then there was a moment I thought Jay-Z won. That's what made it so dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The old school rap beats were just thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not only am I going to come for you, but I'm also going to please the people at the same time.
Bro.
You see what I'm saying?
I missed it.
Ether
was it. Ether was like
cold-blooded.
Ether was probably like the nemesis of real, like, from my generation, of real rap beef.
So what's like some of the best diss tracks you've ever heard?
I would say Ether. I would say Back to Back. I can't think of many more that were like that direct. Yeah. A lot of them were like people sneak diss. Yeah. But not like whole songs.
The only two I have to throw into the mix is there was a song by Pop that came out.
Was it Hit 'Em Up? No.
It might have been Hit 'Em Up. But see, Ice Cube got a cold ass diss track. It's old.
Yeah.
Where he dissing all the cats from the group.
Oh, like NWA?
Yeah. I'm talking about, hey, you want to hear some direct shit?
We gotta go back and listen to it. We gotta go back and listen to it.
Matter of fact, before the podcast, remind me to bring the name of it up.
But I got you.
That thing is cold. So let's move on to WNBA and the evolution of it, bro.
Oh, man.
Like, what are your thoughts on it, man? The ladies' game, listen, first of all, let me start about this. Who won the men's national championship? Because I ain't even watch it.
UConn won, bro.
They won?
But see, I ain't really watch it.
I ain't watch it either.
I was too focused on the women.
Me too.
I was too focused on the women, and I love the women. I love this WNBA movement. I love the drive last night. Shout out to Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, baller.
Look, she did a thing. Number one pick. Angel Reese.
Angel Reese was happening.
Was it Camila Cardoso?
Cardoso.
Yep, they got on the same team.
Who?
Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso got drafted by the same team.
Surely not.
They went from enemies
to frenemies.
Yeah, they're frenemies now.
That's gonna be dope.
So that's gonna be dope.
They'll probably get along well.
What's the young lady from Stanford? Last name Brick, I think. She was number 2 pick.
Word up.
So, bro, I'm excited about where the game is going, especially having a daughter, right?
I love it.
I want a game where my daughter can look at it and say, you know what, this is something to be proud of. This is something that I would love to be a part of. There's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of marketing around it. You know, I'm enjoying the evolution of it, bro.
So that brings me to something. I got my phone out because I had to look at the person's name.
Okay.
So check this out. The evolution of the game, endorsements and things like that, right? There's 77 men, NBA players.
Okay.
Play ball in a women's shoe from the WNBA, the Sabrina 1. And they cold too.
Sabrina 1.
It's called the Sabrina 1.
Okay, so the men are wearing the women's shoes.
77 NBA players
are wearing her shoe. Shit.
So think about what that does for the game, cuz.
Yeah.
And it's a unisex shoe.
Yeah.
They cold.
I'm buying some.
Yeah. I'm talking about that right there.
I'm buying some.
In my opinion, is a game changer.
Yes.
It's a game changer. And I could easily see some of these ladies get to the game and just having cold shoes and taking over the shoe game.
I'm with it.
And getting money.
I'm with it because ladies love sneakers too.
Yeah. They usually have the nicest colorway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We go. Hey, let's get a pair this summer.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna get a pair. TNT will have a pair of Sabrina ones this summer. That's lit. So when we do when we go out in these streets, we outside, when we do our live shows and stuff like that, we gonna wear them.
Yeah, you damn right. Troy.
Can you dig it?
Yeah, man. Before we move on, I just want to say, man, I miss Dolph.
You miss Dolph?
You know I love young Dolph.
Oh man.
I heard a new verse.
Okay.
On a Keep Lock track.
Okay.
And man, I just can't stop listening to it, man. I just miss Dolph. See, Dolph
was that guy.
Dolph won't make you decode shit.
Yeah, he gonna tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah. Ice Cube's track, by the way, is called No Vaseline.
No Vaseline. Okay.
Yeah, we'll listen to that at the end.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your number one Dolph song?
That's impossible, bro.
The first one to come to your mind. What is it?
Let's see. By Mistake, Preach, 100 Shots, Coordinate, Death Row.
Okay.
It goes on.
He's rattling them off.
I love Dolph, man. I love his confidence. I love his straightforwardness.
Yeah.
That's just my dog.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Dog. You know who else I'm starting to like?
Who that?
Well, not starting to like. I take that back. I've always liked, but it's growing.
Who that?
Boosie.
Okay. Boosie is that guy, man. I think Boosie get a lot of bad slack for a lot of reasons, but I think Boosie is an authentic person.
You can't put a price on authenticity, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
Look, Boosie. I love Boosie, man.
Yeah.
I do. I was watching him on Drink Champs.
Okay.
Shout out to Drink Champs. It's dope.
Yeah.
He was talking about his pool party, though. So if you marry, you can't go.
If you marry, you can't go to the pool party.
You cannot go to a Boosie pool party.
Well, you should.
You want to know why?
Why?
Well, it's topless, number one.
Oh, okay.
So since it's topless
pool
70% of the ladies be bottomless, too.
Oh, yeah?
So then he'll do whatever he has to do to please the ladies that come, right?
Okay.
So check this out. Last year, he recruited people like to suck toes. So ladies just get their toes sucked, right?
They getting their toes sucked in the
pool party? Yeah.
At the pool party.
But guess what? So the ladies called him after that pool party, said, well, this summer we want ass eaters.
At the pool party?
Yeah, so Boosie gonna make sure that that there's a whole bunch of ass eaters at the party for the ladies. Because he likes to please the ladies.
They're like in the pool getting their ass ate.
That means if one want their ass ate, Boosie had ass eaters there.
Boosie authentic.
Hey, Boosie gonna take care of the ladies.
Look, I ain't mad at Boosie for that.
I'm just saying. It don't get no better than that.
I mean, look.
That's got to be
at least you know what's going on at the party.
That's got to be the greatest pool party of all time. He straight up told me, he said, if you're married, don't even come, man. Don't even come.
Yeah.
Don't even come.
Because you're gonna end up on the gram somewhere.
Don't even come, man.
Yeah, you're gonna make Facebook Live.
It's the best pool party in the universe as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, Lord. So I mean, a woman can literally sign up and be like, I want my toes sucked, you know what? Next subject. Next subject. Okay. I'm getting excited about this pool party and I can't even go.
I got to know what it's like. I just want to see, show me a video or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, look.
Yeah. Let's get into an unleashed topic. I got two of them.
So listen. Before we go into it, I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
I got a question for you. Because our topic tonight, it's going to be a good topic. It's about nice guys finishing last. Do nice guys finish last. But before you get into that, and I want to know this. What type of women were attracted to you growing up?
In my younger days?
In your younger days. What kind of women, were attracted to Trell? Trell, I don't know, is it Trell Unleashed then? Or was it just Trell back then?
Oh, man, I had a slew of nicknames.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gave them all to myself, though, sadly. But there'll be two kinds of ladies that was consistently attracted to me, and that's BBWs.
Oh, okay. Amazonians.
Because I was bigger than them.
Okay.
But they was fine, too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a big, thick woman, used to like Trell Unleashed back in the day.
Okay.
The second one is the Latino ladies because they think I'm Latino until I say, "Hey, shawty, what's happening?"
You know, I always call you queso.
I ain't got time for that.
Queso, nacho.
So they'll be confused. They'll be like, "Hola." I'll be like, "What's happening, shawty? What's the business?" They'll be like, "Oh shit."
Like, where you from? Texas?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'm confusing. I had long braids back then too.
Okay.
You feel me? What about you?
For me, man, you know what's crazy? What? You probably wouldn't have guessed this, but hood girls used to like me back in the day.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, bro. Little hood girls just like me back in the day. It wasn't nothing hood about me. I think it was because I was the anti-hood. I was an anti-hood guy. I was nerdy, smart, you know. I'm still cool.
Maybe they wanted to put you in bondage.
They were trying to get me. They were trying to
stroke on you.
They was.
That's all right, right there. I wouldn't imagine that.
They used to like back in the day.
So you had some rough ones.
Hey, I can either confirm or deny. But what I'll tell you is,
it's old.
Little hood ladies like back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah. See, you ain't even know. You learned something new today.
I would have never thought of that.
Hey, I didn't say I entertained them.
What did you read to them?
You know, maybe I might have wrote them a poem or something.
Hey, that's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You always had that romantic shit going on.
I know. I think that might have turned them on.
But you know, we from Colombia. No, we from Colombia though. So you know, back in the day, man, you know, we'd be at a party and the best chick in the club would have 6 goals on the bottom.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Colombia was full of rough ladies. They was bad though. They would do everything that we did.
It was cool.
That was real cool. Those were cool times.
Look.
That's where you used to be like, what it is, ho.
What's up? That's some main event action.
Catch you up like you ain't been cut.
Main event.
Yeah, boy.
That's some mess that'll come on the main event.
I passed out the main event once.
What?
Yeah. It was the longest walk of my life.
You passed out?
Because, man, they had free drink all night and they only had Hennessy, no ice.
Oh, Lord.
And I was hot. The bouncer would let me out the back door. So I had to walk all the way across the club.
Yeah.
Somebody saved my life.
Oh, yeah?
As soon as I got outside, I came back.
You get the fresh air got you?
It was just hot, man. That's one time it's ever happened to me.
But that's when we used to actually dance. So, you know, you was hot back then.
I was dehydrated.
You sweating, dehydrated, and drinking. You didn't know what you was doing.
I was drinking Hennessy with no ice.
See?
And in the summer. Now, you know, let me tell y'all something. Columbia, South Carolina is one of the hottest places on earth.
Hot.
Okay?
Hot.
I'm talking about in the summer, it'll be 103 during the day. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be 101.
Yeah. And ain't no water around.
None.
So it's just hot.
They call it the Midlands because it's a bowl.
So
the heat just sit there.
Yeah.
You got to take like 3-4 showers in August.
They call it the armpit of the South.
That's a fact, John.
The armpit of the South.
That armpit got me, boy. Put me in a headlock.
But those was good times, though.
It was. I loved it.
They was good times. So let's jump into Unleashed Thought because I feel like you got something on your heart and your mind that you want to say.
I got
two.
I got two.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the Unleashed Thought of the day. Trell, what's up?
I got 2 of them for you.
What you got? Now. What you got, brother?
You know, ever since 2020, you know what I've been missing?
What's that?
Gangs.
Why? Hold on. Hold on. Let me back up. You said gangs?
Yeah.
What you missing about gangs?
Because, man, back when all that racism stuff was going on, I needed gangs. You know, gangs were created to protect the community and protect the neighborhood.
That's true.
Gangs didn't become violent until cocaine and crack and money got involved. Gangs were actually created to protect the neighborhood from police and other people. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when all that crazy stuff was going on, I needed gangs. Old school gangs. I think I'm going to start a gang. For those reasons.
So would you consider the Black Panthers a gang?
No.
Back in the day?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That was an organization.
Organization. Because I think some people act like it was gangs, but it was really organization.
Just standing up, educating all that, but you got to understand, Crips and Bloods back in the day, you just protect your neighborhood.
That's a fact.
They wasn't really about all that other stuff.
People don't know that history though.
Yeah.
They say they all bad people.
So back then, 2020.
Yeah.
Do you think all that shit would have went down?
Nope.
If we had some gangs.
If we had gangs,
like real gangs. From back in the day.
That was here to protect the community.
Yeah.
Nah, none of that.
We need some gangs. That's my first unleashed thought.
Okay. Church. Now what?
Second unleashed thought is, man, I've always wanted a nickname.
Oh,
but I always wanted a nickname given to me.
Queso.
A good one.
Queso.
Not that trash. But
Nacho.
Think about all the old school nicknames you've heard. Because I heard the most gangster nickname I've ever heard in my life this past weekend. Tell me some of the nicknames that you've heard that was good.
I don't know. 8 Ball.
8 Ball. Cricket.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Man.
Man, yeah.
JoJo.
Tell me if you ever heard this one.
Yeah.
Sweet Peter Jesus.
Sweet Peter Jesus. All right, you got to tell me more about this.
I'll tell you. I was sitting outside talking to a special person, a special man. A man that's special in the word TNT Unleashed. Mm-hmm. And this man looked at me and said, my nickname is Sweet Peter Jesus.
Self-identified.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who that man was?
Who that?
Your damn daddy.
Why does this not surprise me? Why does this shit not surprise me?
I changed his name on my phone to Sweet Peter Jesus.
I can hear Keith Spry telling somebody his name's Sweet Peter Jesus. And I don't even know. I don't even want to know what he was referring to. I don't even know.
But I tell you that thing killed me, man. What would Sweet Peter Jesus do?
You know what? Don't ask me that question no more. Don't ask me that question no more. I'm done. I'm so done, man.
Those are my unleashed thoughts. What's yours, man?
Man, I got one. Mm-hmm. All right, so you know my mom was a teacher, right?
Yes.
I've been seeing too many videos lately of teachers getting assaulted by kids.
Yes, I agree with that. Talk to me. Unpack it.
So what I believe is that any kid that's a teenager or older, mm-hmm. teachers should be able to defend themselves against. Mm-hmm. So if you smack a teacher, mm-hmm. the teacher should be able to smack you back. Mm-hmm. If you punch a teacher, mm-hmm. they should be able to punch you back.
Yeah.
Right. I just believe that the fact that teachers can't protect themselves mm-hmm. is a problem for me.
You know what? I got a potential solution.
Okay, what's that?
So we've got a teacher in our circle, right? Mm-hmm. My aunt's a teacher. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to my aunt about this. I think that teachers should start a nonprofit, right?
Okay.
And we're gonna call it the White Van.
Oh, the what?
The White Van.
Okay, tell me about it.
So this is how you can protect yourself and keep your job.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be stupid. I already know.
What that means is, let's say a little kid slapped the shit out of a teacher at school. Uh-huh. You do nothing. You wait till after school, and all your teacher homies put up in a white van, kidnap him, tie him to a tree in the woods, and whip his ass, and let him walk home, and his mama too.
So you. I like that solution though. I like that solution.
I think it should be like, you remember like Fight Club?
Yeah.
I think the teachers should all meet up at night.
I'm with it.
And just practice whooping kids' ass.
Look.
And practice like
I'm with it. They got belts.
I think everybody plays a role.
Yeah.
It's like Ocean 11. Okay. So like the geeky science teacher. Mm-hmm. Okay. That one is the one that finds the woods. Okay. The math teacher. Okay. That's your getaway driver. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The PE teacher.
Using their strengths.
PE teacher. Those kids in the van. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
And then they all whip his ass.
I'm picking up what you putting down, bro.
Whip his ass.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
I would invest in that.
I would too, because my mom was a teacher. Yeah. Bro, I can't imagine some young boy or young girl or young lady, whatever you want to call it, mm-hmm. slapping her in the face because they mad at her for doing her job.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, ain't no way, bro. No way.
You know what we just created?
What?
A game.
Well, we did, didn't we?
We protected and serving the teacher community.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the White van. White van crew.
White van crew.
That's what we call it?
Yeah.
White van crew. Let's start it.
Let's do it. They put up in that white van.
Yeah.
And if the parent try to justify the kid's behavior, guess what we do?
We kidnap the parent too. Hey, this is it. This is lit.
That's what I think.
Hey, let's do it, bro. Because I don't think it's cool.
I think we got to go online and get some votes. Okay. Maybe we can do a GoFundMe for the White Van crew.
Hey, we're gonna do a poll.
Exactly. So that means anybody got slapped this year, last couple years, they get a van. You gotta start your own chapter. Okay. You get chapters.
Chapter of the White Van crew.
Yeah. So you got the Orlando chapter. You got the
you a fool,
California
man.
chapter. You got the Georgia chapter
of the White Van crew.
And they should wear like motorcycle vests.
What else could get you? What else could get you kidnapped in the White Van crew? What else other than hitting a teacher?
Mess with somebody's kids.
Okay. What else?
Just doing something wrong around my house or my family. Okay. That can get you some white van treatment. And racism can get that white van driven into an ocean.
Lord.
I'm just saying.
I can depend on you to take it too far. I can depend on you to take it too far.
Man, we brainstorming, man.
You said drive to the ocean?
Accidentally.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally.
All right. I'm
racist. Things like that. What about you?
All the above.
All the above.
But I do think you can get kidnapped for cussing a teacher out.
Cussing ain't bad, man.
No, see, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that shit.
Unless they call you a bunch of names.
No, you can't call my mama no bitch, hoe,
Oh yeah, we kidnap over that. We kidnap over that.
Yeah,
we kidnap over
getting
that.
kidnapped over
Yeah,
that.
we kidnap over that.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. And you know, maybe their walk home be a little shorter than the kid that slapped the teacher. Okay. So I'm talking about you slap a teacher, like my auntie or something, or our home in the circle, or like your mom, whatever. Mm-hmm. That means we take you to woods that's 50 miles away.
Okay. So then you gotta walk home.
You gotta walk home with no shoes on. Okay. With your ass whipped.
So here's my last question about this. What are the weapons of choice? What, like, you know, we used to get, I don't know about you, but I used to get a whooping. What types of things can we use to whoop their ass?
I think the teachers should just decide. I think each chapter should decide on like their weapon of choice, like maybe a ruler, a paddle, maybe knuckles.
Extension cord?
What about a switch? What if you tie them to a tree and then everybody get a switch? Yeah. Do you know that these teachers be sitting in somebody's garage, perfect their switch?
Perfecting their switches,
they
bro.
Would braid 3 stitches together and tie that some bitch up.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, and whoop their ass.
No. What about hanger?
I think it's all fair as long as it's just an ass whooping. Okay. And a long walk home. All right. I'm not even sure. Is that illegal? To whoop their ass?
Well, see, I don't know.
Because I
don't know.
They survive.
We have to consult our lawyers.
Well,
we need a lawyer on retention. Anybody out there in the universe there's a lawyer we can put on retention for this?
We would need some lawyers. Mm-hmm. We need masks, gloves. We probably need somebody to be able to paint the van just in case.
Yeah, we might cover it up. It might get real bad one night.
Need some rope.
Yeah.
Probably need like a box or something. Cause I'm taking their shoes off and stuff. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't walk on no shoes.
And the fact that you didn't thought this through this much.
So, you know, these kids be having them J's. That's getting sold.
I'm taking the J's. I'm giving to.
I'm gonna snatch their chain.
Yeah, all that. They better not have no gold teeth. I'm taking them out.
I'm taking it out. Taking the mama's
rings. If they got hair, I'm cutting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it's going down.
All right.
So just know, shout out to the White Van crew. It's about to go down.
Teachers, don't worry. We're about to start this gang up.
We got you covered.
Gang.
Hey, we got you covered.
Gang. Deuce.
Let's get to the topic for tonight.
Let's do it.
I think it's gonna be a good topic.
Unpack it.
So the topic tonight is, do nice guys finish last? Right. The reason why we thought this was important is because there's this phenomenon out there. We're men, right? And from a young age, a lot of times you're being taught that if you're a nice guy, that you will finish last. And so let's unpack it a little bit. Let's talk first about, what do you consider a nice guy? And I'll give my definition. What do you think?
We're talking about
nice guy in quotes.
So we're talking about the alternate universe definition.
We're talking about your definition and alternate universe.
All right. If I put them together, there's a negative connotation to it, right?
Okay.
And what we're seeing in today's conversation.
Okay.
And a nice guy appears to be someone who is willing and consistently puts themselves last.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yep.
Puts themselves last.
That's it.
At all times, and just puts everyone and everything before them.
Yep.
Now, I also believe that we were raised to kind of be that way.
Absolutely.
To be a good guy.
That's a fact.
Like you kind of get like a badge of honor.
You just serve everybody.
Look at what I did. I didn't get nothing in return.
There you go.
I got a new badge today.
Yeah, they smiled at me today.
Yeah, that's what a nice guy is to me. What about you?
Now, the word that comes to mind for me is amiable, like very like moldable, doesn't have a lot of boundaries. The type of man who is agreeable all the time.
Yep.
Who doesn't push back on a lot of things.
Yep.
Who treats women what he deems as right, but sometimes might not be respected.
Right.
The other word that comes to mind for me is passive, a passive man.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things I think about when I think about a nice guy. I think that turns some people off.
And we're talking about the negative form of it.
Yeah, negative connotation.
So you just triggered something in me, man. Like, I think a nice guy is a man that doesn't have good self-love and no boundaries.
You know what comes up for me now we think about it, is people pleaser.
No self-love.
None.
Low value.
No
self-worth. No boundaries. Or might not know how to set them.
See, now that's I think that's where the disconnect is. It's like you could be a nice guy, but you might not have the ability to make someone feel safe because you don't even know how to set boundaries for yourself or others.
Yeah, facts. So, but many nice guys are protective, of others.
Yeah.
Set no boundaries for themselves, right? But then it gets into, man, I would expect for in a healthy relationship, if a woman has a nice guy, right, she would motivate him to set boundaries, become stronger, not take advantage of them shits all the time. Though.
I think that's the problem.
Because that's what I'm seeing in all the universe. What I'm seeing is ladies who can identify a nice guy and just either drag him or talk shit about him.
Yep.
But a nice guy's not it's still a good guy. Why don't you just be like, hey, set these boundaries, man? Like, don't let nobody do this. Don't even let me do this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, don't let people get away with this.
Exactly.
Don't let me get away with this either.
Yep.
Like, sometimes I could do this thing, but it's okay to be like, no.
Yeah. No.
So that way you can grow together.
No, I'm with it. I'm with it. I think a lot of nice guys out there are being deceived into thinking that if they are agreeable to everything, then that gets them to the goal in which they want. But it's counterintuitive.
Well, that's what we were taught, man. You know, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord.
That's been around since before we were born.
Don't get me started on that.
And, you know, we were raised to just, that's that traditional, that old school shit, right?
Yes.
It drives it. So
Yes.
you got to provide, you got to protect.
Yep.
And
everything.
And, you know, that's about it, though. You don't get nothing.
Nah.
There is no, like, obligational things that you're supposed to receive.
Yes.
Other than maybe getting fed just so you can go work again. You see what I'm saying?
We sold a dream.
So now we're in this, like, ambiguous space where we were raised in that traditional way, but we're in a progressive space, right?
Yeah.
So now, I think the only way to really evolve it is to love yourself. So it's
that's it right there.
I think
that's it.
Men in our community are taught to not love themselves at all,
bro. And if we start talking about loving ourselves, people look at it funny.
Well, you rewarded for how little you can reward yourself.
Yeah.
Look at all the things you did for nothing.
Yeah. Just sacrificing.
All my life,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Fight. Now, that does not mean that there aren't ladies in our community doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
But there's no term called nice lady.
Nah, not at all.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Have you had any like nice guy experiences in your life? Like, have you had a nice guy experience where you did finish last?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, bro. I'm a retired nice guy, right? And I'm a retired nice guy because I had to learn that nice guy doesn't mean spineless guy.
Facts.
Right? You have to have a backbone. You have to have boundaries. All those kind of things, right? But there were plenty of times. I ain't gonna talk about one. I was like, I could count on my hand the amount of times where I was super nice and agreeable.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to ladies when I was younger.
Yeah.
So agreeable that it probably made them feel like I was easy to walk over.
Right.
Right. So I would lead with trying to do things for them, trying to be super sweet all the time, super romantic, super whatever you need, I'm there. I respond every time you say something.
Facts.
Whatever you need, that kind of person. And I can remember at least 4 or 5 times where they ended up with who you would deem the bad guy, but he wasn't the bad guy. He was more assertive.
Right.
He was more structured, probably.
Right.
He probably was a little more popular.
Right.
All those kind of things. Like he had accolades and ambition, and I had all those things too. But the point being is, I've lost out on women because I was trying to be too agreeable all the time, and it was perceived as being nice and soft.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've had at least 3 or 4 times where I've lost a woman because of that. Now, the trick is they came back. A lot of them come back.
Of course they do.
They come back when they start
to be mature.
They get mature. They start really like,
They get hurt.
They get hurt, and then you like, back then you didn't want me. Now I'm out. You all on me. But at the same time, that wasn't good for me. I should have been taught about those boundaries, right? About those, being able to have that backbone and understanding that you can be a good guy and a good person and a good human and a good man,
right?
And still have boundaries and self-love. And still have the ability to make someone feel safe.
Facts.
You know what I mean? What about you? You ever had an experience where, your niceness?
Most definitely. I mean, I was raised to be a nice guy.
Okay.
I think you either maybe grew up in a more toxic type environment, but if you look, as a man, a boy, going into a man, right? Also, I performed for love, first of all, growing up.
That's a fact.
I used to perform for love, so that means I was already programmed to perform for love.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Before you go in that, can you break down what that looks like? Performing for love at like that age.
What that looks like is when you are doing what's expected of you or what's laid out for you at a level that's acceptable by those you perform for, you receive love.
Okay, gotcha.
And when you're not, you don't.
You don't get no love.
You don't get none. That doesn't mean you get beat up.
Yeah.
But you just don't get the love and attention and affection. You know what I'm saying? You have to do
Gotcha.
something. You got to bring home that report card.
Yeah.
You got to have that straight A's.
Yeah.
You got to go in that football field. You got to ball. You got to do these things, right? So, but I also was very blessed to witness a partnership where when somebody does something, like you got a provider and protector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My partner didn't have to worry about a lot of other things in the home. You know, it's like it was equal.
Gotcha.
So, man, I came up thinking, shit, if you provide all these things and you perform at a high level, you naturally receive certain things back.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But that was naive.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, man, I had to learn self-love and boundaries and learn just how to operate in the intimate space because was never the nice guy outside of the intimate space.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I
was watching American Pimp. so this is how you can have such a mind F.
Yeah.
I watch American Pimp 2-3 times a week. But as soon as I get into an intimate space, I only know one way to function.
And that's nice.
Which is provide, give it all, do what I'm supposed to do, work hard, perform.
Yeah. And
whatever I get, I get.
Yeah.
And then I might ask for more or argue for more or whatever. But at the same time, it's not like I didn't have a clear sense of what I wanted back.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clear expectation of what I wanted back.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can just talk to me any kind of way or push me over. You know, that's not my speed.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But we're talking about in a relationship. Oh man, nice guys do finish last because under this definition.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree.
But
I agree.
How do you solve for it?
That's a good question, man. Like, how do you solve for? Because there are a lot of men I can imagine right now, like just even listening, who are confused, right? They're stuck in between. How do I be a good guy and still be nice and still be respected at the same time?
Facts.
Right. And I think the way you solve for it is through self-love. Because when you love yourself to a place where you understand your worth and your value,
facts, then
you don't allow certain things in your life.
Period.
Like, you don't allow women to treat you a certain kind of way, and you are open and you communicative about what you will and won't allow.
I totally agree with that. I think that's step one, without a doubt.
Okay.
The more self-love you give, the more kind and compassionate you become.
Exactly.
So that means you can actually become a kind man that don't play no games.
Exactly.
Which
you can do both.
Ladies like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a man that don't play no games,
but
it's not mean.
Yeah.
You got to work with yourself first, get that self-love in the game. I believe step two, though, is for women and men in particular to teach each other game instead of push, pull, and judging. Right? So
tell me more about that.
If you got like a woman, let's say that's just strong, powerful, successful, maybe has masculine energy, right?
Yeah.
And their mate is a quote-unquote nice guy, right? I think that one person, whoever knows how to set the boundaries and all that, should invite the other to set boundaries with them so that they can learn the game. Because that means the dude has everything you want.
Yeah.
What if you just put him on a little bit of game? Then you can have the whole nice man that don't play no games.
Exactly. Just let him know what that looks like.
You know, it should be invited. I feel like, man, the relationship space should be very similar to child parent space emotionally. That means it's supposed to be a safe space to practice stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that means you know I know how to set boundaries. I've been performing for love my whole life.
Yep.
And you know you don't like weak dudes.
Yeah. Or
what you perceive as a weak dude. Right? So why don't you invite me to practice set my boundaries? Because the first time I do it, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say it too hard, too tough. Like, this is the boundary, boundary right here. I don't play no game because I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna piss them off.
Exactly.
Right? But it needs to be just talked through. Like, hey man, that's not how you set one dude.
Yeah.
Set it right here, do it like this, and I'll respect it.
That's it.
You feel me?
Mature.
And then you can just go back and forth until it's calibrated.
Look, I think that's a very mature approach.
Yeah.
I think the approach has to be, but that means it takes two mature people to do it. You know what I mean? I could imagine a woman saying something like, "Why should I have to teach you how to set boundaries?" Could you imagine that happening?
I can, but I also think you attract what you've healed yourself for.
Tell me more about that. What that mean?
What that means is if you don't have appropriate levels of self-worth, self-value, and you don't have that self-love, you really can't attract a healthy person. You're going to attract somebody that knows how to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And knows how to leverage it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And knows what to do with that shit, that gap that you have. So I think that you really can't get a healthy partner without doing that work, right? But you could meet each other at the same space. So let's say neither one of you are completely healthy, but you want to be really, really bad. And you really do love each other. And you really are good people. Yeah. That's where that conversation piece
could happen. Comes
in. Like, you need some self-love, I do too. Yeah. You go get you some self-love every Wednesday from 5 to 7.
There you go.
I'm going to get my self-love on Thursdays from 7 to 9.
Yep.
Let's practice this boundary stuff.
I love it though. See, that's the next level conversation that's not being had, right? I think we have these really unrealistic expectations of each other without the reconciliation of the fact that we all are lacking in a lot of spaces that we need to improve within ourselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that makes it very hard to trust a person that you get into something with because they think that you should already be healed, right? And healing is a journey, right? And with healing comes boundaries and self-awareness and emotional intelligence and all those things, right? But if you're expecting that everybody you come across is going to be healed, then what ultimately happens is you might end up with one healthy person and one unhealthy person, and they might be taking advantage of each other.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I think that there's more judgment than there is love.
Tell me more.
I think that if you haven't done that inward stuff, right? Whenever somebody does you wrong, it's personal, first of all, and it hurts your feelings, and you judge it. Yeah. But if you do a little bit of work and have healthy conversations, you'll quickly realize that that's the best I can think of. Yeah. Like, I sat and thought about this for 2 days. Yeah. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I intend to do good things. Yeah. My intention was pure. So what if we work together so the next attempt got better? And you create a trajectory. Exactly. So I'm just seeing extremes. What I'm seeing is, you got nice guys who are weak, quote unquote. Then you got ladies that go deal with a bad guy and become angry and bitter because of how they treated. And then they caught in the middle. Now they're no good guys. Yep. That's not true.
It's not true at all.
You got to have a partnership.
Yes.
Go. Just like, back in the day when we were young, an older guy dealing with a younger lady would be like, yeah, I'm about to train her up. Yeah. That was a very misogynistic thing, the way it was phrased at the time. Absolutely. I want to make that very clear. But it was still like, hey, I think I could mold or shape her in some kind of way. It was manipulation, but if you could take that concept of like, I think I can mold you or help you a little bit mutually. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That means we're both working toward the same goal. We communicate. You know what I'm saying? You don't want me to wake up and not set boundaries with people. Yeah. Invite me to something with you.
That's it.
And if I can set one in my house, I can set one outside. Right? Can't nobody come out your boundary.
Shit. The word that comes to mind for me is willingness, right? So two people being willing to meet each other halfway and help each other and invite each other into that space. All right. And then there's this idea of vulnerability. Yeah. Right. So with the vulnerability comes, I'm not good in this area. Yeah. Help me with it. So I'm willing to help you with your. At the same time, I'm willing to allow you to be vulnerable with me so that we can both get to the same place. Yeah. But I think there's like this thing going on where it's like everybody should just have it all figured out, and that's just not realistic.
It's not. I'll tell you what it is. We discussed it either last episode or the episode before. Fear of shame. Fear of shame. So that means in order for me to help you, I can't fear shame when you help me. Yeah, with something. That's a fact.